Hey everybody, Steve Olson here with the Peak Group. I want to talk about why real estate is ideal. And that's an acronym. No, I didn't come up with it. I've heard lots of people passionately argue about who did come up with it. And I don't know who it was, but I'll just tell you it wasn't me. But I still like it because, I took a finance class once and I grew up, when I got into real estate, interest rates were not they were about what they are now, actually, and then they went really low for a while. Now they're back to here where they are. And people would talk about, I got to invest in real estate because I can't earn anything in the bank. I just always thought, well, yeah. When I put money in a savings account, it's practically nothing, right? The bank wants to give me a lame CD for 3 years and I earn 1.25%, and that was good. That's a lot different now. And when I took this finance class I'm telling you about, they kept talking about something called the risk-free rate. The risk-free rate is typically the U.S. 10-year Treasury. And some people will passionately argue that it's not risk-free. Maybe we can get some of the tinfoil hats on here to talk about that, although I agree with them on a lot. But the risk-free rate is what can I earn by giving my money to the U.S. government for a Treasury bond? And I know for sure I am going to get that money back. And I checked CNBC this morning. I think the 10-year U.S. Treasury is at it's like 4.6, maybe 4.7%. So you can loan the U.S. government that money, and you can make that as long as you ride out the whole 10 years. And so people compare investing in real estate to the risk-free rate. You have to have a premium on top of that rate to make it worth investing in real estate because you're not doing something risk-free anymore. You've got risk. And so it's important when we think about that because now you can actually make some money, right? Loaning your money to the U.S. government. What are all the multidimensional ways that we can invest in real estate? And that's the acronym. It's I.D.E.A.L, I.D.E.A.L. And those are the ways, I.D.E.A.L, yeah, it's 5 letters. I had to check myself there, that you can invest. So number one, or the I, stands for income. When you buy real estate, you are supposed to get the income that comes from it. I see people a lot of times invest in negative cash flowing properties. There may be some reasons to do that from time to time, but most of the time, you're not going to want to do that. You're going to want to get paid to do this thing because you're going to get paid on that treasury bond that you bought, right? So you're going to get the income from the real estate. The second one, the D, is depreciation. I really love this one. So when we invest in real estate, we get that tax advantage. We get to essentially make it look, and I don't want to say make it look, but on your taxes, it shows that you made less income than you actually did. Without getting too wonky on this, the IRS on residential properties says that you can depreciate the vertical value, so not the land, the vertical value of the structure over 27 and a half years. And so you can show a loss on your taxes, which means you pay less taxes. I'm being super simple about it today, and I'm not your CPA. Talk to your CPA about this. But there's some cool ways to really hack into that and supercharge it, especially on new construction, so that you can make a bunch of money and pay very little in taxes because of depreciation. Can't do that with the treasury bond. Can't do that with a lot of other investments. And that's why people love real estate. So in addition to that, when you buy rental cash flowing real estate, you get the third advantage, which is equity. That tenant pays their rent, right? That rent pays your mortgage, and they are paying that principal down for you. So when you start holding it for longer and longer periods of time, that pay down gets more and more aggressive. The first time you ever got a mortgage and you made your payment and you got that statement, your payment was $2,000 a month and you saw that, you paid $50 to principal or something. It's a little discouraging at first, right? The interest is so front loaded on these things. That's why a lot of times people do what are called biweekly payments. They make the payment twice a month, once in the middle and once at the end. There's less principal that the interest is accruing against throughout the month. So there's ways to hack it a little bit. But either way, you make your mortgage payment, the tenant is getting you that equity pay down so that when you go to sell it one day, the loan is a lot less than what you originally took it out for. Maybe completely paid off if you're really, really patient. So income, depreciation, and equity. The fourth one is appreciation. So cool thing is that treasury bond is rarely going to appreciate much. You're going to get that appreciation in a market where, a lot of times we see real estate go up over time. I've seen the charts and so have you. We can cherry pick some times where, well, if you bought it here, it was worth less than when you did it. But for the most part, if you're looking at time frames of at least 5 years, you're going to be ahead. And the cool part about it is you took that loan out, and this transitions us into the last one, leverage. So you got all that stuff with a lot less money. You buy a stock unless you're kind of a risky margin investor, right? You got leverage. You took 20, 25, 30% and put it down on the property. And so now that appreciation and all that other stuff is magnified because you didn't have to use 100% of the capital to acquire the asset. So I think it's really important to consider that. I see, we do pro formas, and a question I get a lot is, well, the cash on this is, X or Y. Why would I do that when I can get the treasury bond or earn some money in the bank? I.D.E.A.L is why, because you don't get any of the rest of those benefits that you get by investing in real estate. I hope it helps. Once again, I didn't come up with it, but I love it, and I think it's a great way to think about this asset class. Thanks.